All right, everybody. You know what time it is. It is Wednesday and it is 5 p.m. So you know what that means. The Glow is live at 5. We have a very special guest today that I cannot wait to introduce to you all and bring you all live onto the platform, live into the room. Amen. And we're just going to be discussing sis empowerment and what that means in today's culture. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean to you all? As you all know, so we glow up in 5 facets of that I like to focus on in life, right? We glow up with fellowship. This is our spirituality, how we interact with one another. Okay. This is a part of our culture. We glow up that is, no matter what you believe in, no matter what religion you ascribe to, how are you living your life with that type of intention, that type of purpose, and who's guiding you in that life and with that. We glow up with finances, definitely, right? How are we glowing up in finances? And we also we glow up in regards to our friendships. Guys, this is so important, right? Like, who are your friends? Who are your friends? What about your friends? As TLC would say, right? And then last but not least, y'all, fitness. Y'all know I'm on this journey. Y'all know I am totally committed to getting that life back. Oh, hey, Miss Keisha. Okay.
Hi, Courtney. How you doing?
And so, hey, Diamond Princess, great. My moderator is here. Absolutely. Hello, welcome, Miss Sheba. Hello. We got this room live. We got this room liven up for Miss Keisha, our guest of today. So you guys, if you are in the stream, just so I can see you on all platforms, please put up your glowers. That means put up your light bulbs, put up your diamonds, put up your stars, put up your flashlights, your candles, anything that represents glowing to you, put that up in here so we can liven that up. So I know my people in the house, y'all know how it is. I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on YouTube. I'm not coming through YouTube right now. So if you don't participate in the chat, I can't see that you're here. So even if you don't want to throw in any comments right now, please just forward just to let me know you're in the building. Yes. I am so excited. We are about to do this dang thing. Miss Keisha is she is a life coach. And I was so pleased with following her on Facebook. And y'all know I'm always gonna Philly rep, y'all. Okay, y'all definitely know that I am a Philadelphian. But I always say I didn't grow up in Philadelphia. Philadelphia raised me. All right, I came through. I did come through the school system, but I taught in the school system. I taught at Girls High. I taught at Benjamin Franklin. I taught at William Penn. So, I learned a lot. Even though I was a teacher, I felt like a student of Philadelphia, definitely. And y'all know I would be remiss to say that anything about Philadelphia without talking about the fact that Rocky was always... that was a symbol of strength for me growing up. I didn't go to my prom. I watched Rocky 4 with my nephew. That is how I spent my prom night, y'all. So, and of course, I always had such a love and appreciation for Temple, for school to be so committed to community. I came through the PASSEP program at Temple, which was a great way to learn about Pan-Africanism. So if you all do not know about the PASSEP program, I believe it is still functioning at Temple. I talked to Dr. Yumi about 2 years ago. So definitely, thank you so much, Diamond Princess. Yes, give them glowers love, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Without any further ado, because I see we're 7 minutes in, I'm going to put myself on mute. So y'all know this is how real it is, that I have so much respect for this guest. I'm going to put myself on mute. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you all. I want to thank you again before we even get started, Keisha. Just
Thank
having, the small conversations we've been having over the past couple of weeks, we're on the same page. I have so much respect for your intellect, your mindset, your mentality. You're exactly the type of people that I need in my Glow network. So it's been a long time coming. We were supposed to do this last month. Things got, off when I, was moving. I moved from Miami up to Atlanta. But I told her, I said, hey, when I get settled, you my first guest in there.
Okay.
So I want to thank you for, for definitely holding true to that commitment, for being here today. And without further ado, the glow up guest in this hour of power, okay, is Miss Keisha Greene.
How you doing, everybody? Hey, Courtney. Hey, moderators. Glad to be here. Through everything, we ended up connecting. A little bit more about me. I did recovery life coaching for a while, but I wanted to get out of that and go into transitional life coaching. Because like with the recovery coaching, you grow attached to people and you get close to them. And then when you hear that another person relapsed and they didn't make it, it kind of makes you like, well, wow, I just saw them. They seemed like they were happy. They seemed like they were fine. And the glow up is amazing. It is. It's just, change. It requires change. The glow up requires change, and it requires you to put that work in. Nobody's going to come to you and say, hey, I want to see you glow. I want to see you prosper. A little bit more about me and my background. I grew up with my father, I grew up with my mother, but there was a lot of dysfunctional relationships within my family. And it was a lot of things that I learned early that were incorrect. And I had to figure it out as I went. Like, I watched my grandfather disrespect my grandmother by having side chicks and all that stuff. And it was hurtful because my family kind of just was fraternizing with her, trading recipes with her. And it was a level uncomfortable for me because I'm like, wait a minute, this is our grandmother. This is our grandfather. And everybody seems to be okay with the fact that he has a side girlfriend. And she's allowed to come to the house, eat dinner, play cards. I wasn't with it. Like, Philly came out of me real quick. I'm looking at her like, okay, you want me to fraternize with you and be happy with it and be okay. So I learned dysfunction in the family and dysfunction in the relationships early. And I'm like, wait a minute, if this is what love is going to be, I don't want to be in nobody's relationship. I don't even want to date nobody. Don't even split your lips to ask for my number. So I had to learn how to distinguish men of substance from grown little boys. But in order for me to have a man of substance, I had to change myself and become a woman of substance. So it was a lot of work and a lot of changes that needed to be made. I had to change my dieting. I had to eat properly, take care of myself. A couple years ago, I was 180 pounds. I was very overweight. And the wake-up call for me was having a heart attack at the age of 30-something years old and being in a hospital, being hooked up to all these wires and monitors and being there for a whole night. And that was the scariest thing in my life. And I created my own pain because I was focused on somebody that didn't care about me, worrying about things I can't control, and just onslaught. I kept creating my own pain, kept running to dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional friendships. And it just got to the point where I said, you know what, something needs to give here. I need to change. So I went to go work on me. I read books on communication, dating, relationships, dieting, and stuff like that. And I went from 180 pounds to 150 comfortably. So it can work. It is possible. Change is possible. You just do things baby steps at a time. And then you add something else and you do something else. You know what I mean? So the glow up is great. I feel great. I feel blessed that I'm 40 years old and I'm in the process of setting up a coaching business. an online beauty supply store, things like that, being able to provide for my kids, being in their lives, being a positive role model, and like I said, I was a part of the mess out here. I was a part of the fuckery, I was. Eventually you have to grow older and you have to grow wiser, and you have to, especially when you have kids, you kind of have to be mindful about the image that you put out there and present to them, because you don't want your kids to pick up and go the same way that you went. So we have to break the generational cycles, we have to break the curses, and we have to heal. And we have to get out the mentality that Black people don't go to therapy, Black people don't do this. Okay, well, we need to go to therapy because we've been through so much. Let's take slavery out the equation and move it up to our caregivers. What did we learn from them? What kind of relationships were they in? What kind of friendships were they in? Did they get along with people of the same sex? Did they get along with the opposite sex? So these are things we have to ask ourselves. Did they really mean us well? Did they set us up for greatness? Did they set us up for success? What were we set up for? You know what I mean? And it takes a while. We have to unlearn the crap that we learned. It doesn't matter if it's family members, doesn't matter if it was friends. We got to unlearn some of this behavior. You know what I mean? We got to break the cycle. We got to stop saying things like Black men don't settle down, Black women don't settle down. We got to get out this friends with benefits thing. We got to stop substituting the baby shower for the wedding. It's a lot of work that we have to do as a community, as a people, and as a whole. It's a lot of work that needs to be done. And it's a lot of men out here that need healing, that are hurting. And most men who usually hate women, it usually started with a family member, a female family member, or a friend of the family. A lot of men were molested, and that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot. And it needs to be talked about. We tell men like, oh, these things happen, get over it, man up, men don't cry. That's complete and utter bullshit. Men do cry. So we have to get out this mentality of raising boys, but letting our girls grow up. It doesn't work.
Let me tell you, Keisha, you are giving a whole word today.
Thank you.
I'm writing. This is what I do. I'm a writer. So as you're talking, I got my prayer book out, and I'm taking my notes. Some things that really stuck out to me so far. First of all, I had no idea you were 40. Lord have mercy. Keisha, you look all of, I was thinking low end 27, high end 32. I definitely was not thinking that we were close in age at all. As you all know, I'm just celebrating another year of life. Amen. So beautiful. Thank you. You talking about focusing on normalizing the dysfunction of side chicks and side pieces. So a little bit about me, and I know I shared this with you, and most of my glowers, they already know my background, but I was a whole married woman with a whole side, situation. And I was separated, but not divorced. I think also too that needs to be something that we need to stress more in our community.
From divorce, healing from divorce is important, because when a lot of women, like when I coach a lot of women and I coach a lot of men, the first thing they talk about is how that person hurt them. Okay, Pamela, that was 7 years ago when you divorced David. Okay. You have to let that go, and you have to heal first before you try to go out there and try to date. So you're not bringing that baggage into the new relationship. Like we need to heal first, and we have to stop going from relationship to relationship to relationship, and we're not healed. We have to heal first. Like we have to get out this mentality.
I call that Tarzan. Going from relationship to the next. And he was absolutely right. So a little bit, having a sense of self, being on a solo flow, It's
That's
so
important.
important to finding out what type of companion not only are you desiring, but what type of companion are you reflecting,
Right.
because that was really my thing for a minute. I've only been in two relationships after my divorce. I've been divorced for 8 years. My
Okay.
last relationship was 5 years ago. Was 4 years ago. I've
Yeah.
been celibate for 5 years, and I've been single for 4 years.
Okay.
It, my first two relationships were within the first year of me being divorced.
Okay.
The only two relationships I have had post divorce, and with the first relationship, I was like, wow, he's just real controlling, and he's super
Mm-hmm.
smart. He's really good. So he had qualities that I was seeking because he was very intellectually smart. He was very passionate about Black people.
Yeah.
He was super controlling, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I got to get out of here because he's super controlling.
Right.
So we had a domestic situation, and I was able to get out of there. I was able to get like relocation money, because that's something too, Keisha. I know we can speak on that. We're coming from Philly as well. A lot of
Yep.
these women will stay in relationships because they can't financially support themselves.
Right.
So fortunately, I was aware of some opportunities with funding, because I've always had a good understanding or appreciation for social services organizations. Both of my
Yep.
parents are social workers, so my dad, he encouraged me to go and get a restraining order,
Yep.
and when I filed the restraining order, they actually the support system comes into place. So they were like, hey, do you need, you can apply to
Right.
get housing and that sort of thing that I didn't even know existed. So I
Yeah.
ended up getting that, and I was able to relocate to a total other community, which was incredibly
Mm-hmm.
amazing, because I ended up becoming such a dedicated member to that community. That's the community that I ran for office in. That's the community that
Yep.
I've been in for almost a decade. That's the community that I served as a councilwoman, as a representative.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last community I ever lived in Miami, prior to moving up here to Atlanta
Yeah.
now.
I lived in
But
Miami too.
this that people need to know the resources are out there.
Yes.
If you want to change your life, the resources
They're
are
out
out
there.
there. I'm telling you, what was so key
You
was
can
my
start
dad telling me
small.
to get a restraining
And
order.
you can start small. Because I remember when I was going through my domestic violence relationship and I became homeless. Like I said, I started out with something as simple as a Dollar Tree lipstick until I could do better, because I was starting all over. I didn't have anything. I had to literally pick up my kids and leave with just the clothes on our backs and do what we had to do. So in that process, I didn't have any formidable skills. I had to learn how to do everything on my own. So once I learned how to do certain things, I was like, okay, I can do this. Da, 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 da. I can work. I don't have to walk on eggshells when I talk to my mate. And like I said, I started out with that $1 Tree lipstick, and it made me feel good. And then after that, I started treating myself to small things. As the checks were rolling in, I saved up enough money to move into a place of my own and have my own space. But I still had to heal, because I still was hurting from that relationship. Because I said I didn't want to be bitter, and I didn't want to be angry. I didn't want to scare off the next man who could potentially be Mr. Husband. And he like, oh no, she got too much going on. She cute, but I don't want to date her. So I had to work on me for a while, and I did that for 7 years. I didn't date anybody for a while. I learned how to date. So I came back in slowly, went on dates and stuff like that. And, I got to the point of standing up for myself in these dates. And it was a thing that I struggled with a lot, setting boundaries, deal breakers, and standards in these relationships. So for a while, I was a doormat. But I didn't know, okay, I had a domestic violence situation. Let me learn how to date all over again. Let me learn what I need to watch out for in dating. And things I had found myself running into was the narcissist, Mr. Right Now, Mr. Emotionally Unavailable, Build the Bum. Trust me, I done dated them all. And sometimes all of them was in one man. So it was like, okay, something need to change here because I keep attracting the same type of men. It's something about me that need to change. So I did the work, went on dates and stuff like that. So I had to insert myself back into dating and do it slowly because I needed to learn me. Keisha didn't know Keisha. So how was I going to be in a relationship with you knowing you, but I didn't know me? He didn't know which version he was going to get. So, it takes a lot, and we have to unheal from things that we learned from our caregivers too. Like we learned a lot of bad relationship habits from our caregivers. And I'm talking about grandma, I'm talking about auntie, I'm talking about Uncle Roland and them, I'm talking about cousin Tunk Tunk and them, I'm talking about everybody that we learned all them relationship habits from, especially some of these dusty uncles talking about don't no man supposed to have no woman, you supposed to spread that seed around. Okay, but what Uncle Tunk Tunk did.
Wait a minute. I had to unmute myself to bring that back. You say your uncle said what, Keisha?
Now, we take advice from our caregivers, Uncle Tunk Tunk and them. Now, Uncle Tunk Tunk has told men that men ain't supposed to have one woman. Y'all, we ain't supposed to settle down. You supposed to spread that seed around. What Uncle Tunk Tunk didn't tell you is he got 10 kids, don't see none of them, ain't got custody of them, and the state got about 5 of them. Is this a person we really want to take advice from about relationships? Obviously not. We gonna get on Auntie Renee too. We got to call out some of these family members. We got to call out some of these toxic family members, especially for the women. Like a lot of us in the community, our self-esteem was stripped when we were young. So by the time we hit them 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, we question everything. Like, can I do this? Am I worth this? My mama told me I wasn't nothing, and the only thing I was good for is laying on my back. And a lot of mothers decimate their daughter's self-esteem, just like a lot of mothers decimate their son's self-esteem. So we have to get out this thing. We have to encourage our kids to be great, and we have to encourage them to want healthy relationships. We can't teach our son to be chasing behind Big Butt Tisha, and Big Butt Tisha ain't got no goals. She just give good head. That's all she do. No goals, no dreams, no ambition. She just got big butt and gets good head.
Please let everyone know. Please say that, give people in the back, y'all, and y'all know I always say the truth needs no filter. This is what our issue is, y'all.
We got to stop
these men want Rihanna bodies, but Erykah Badu mindset. It don't work that way, y'all. It don't work that way. They want a sister that's looking like an IG model, but want to take care of their kids, but they want a sister with no kids.
Like he about 9 months pregnant, and he running around here looking like he about 9 months pregnant. Ain't had a job since 1971. Can't get a woman because he's socially awkward. No, we can't listen to him no more. We got to stop chasing bullshit. Like, we got to start chasing women of substance. I'm going to jump on you men real quick. Listen, I don't care if her ass is as big as Epcot Center. If she ain't got no goals, if she ain't got no dreams, she ain't got no ambition, no drive, no dick. Same thing for you women. No goals, no drive, no ambition, no cat. Got to cut them off. Got to get them together. We got to stop doing this. Like, we got to stop chasing behind Man, Tay and them, and he don't give a fuck about you. He won't even buy you a 50-cent soda or a $1 pack of pads for your bleeding pussy. Bye-bye, Man. Bye-bye, Tay and them. We got to stop looking at good men as lames. Because good men are not lame. There are some very good men out here with good qualities, good standards, well-rounded, that are here to love you. We got to stop chasing Man and Tay because he got good dick and he got green eyes and a nice car. We got to stop chasing bullshit. Gotta stop chasing bullshit. Cause guess what? And then on top of that, you can't get mad when it's like, say for example, a lot of women, y'all go in dating drug dealers. Okay, you know he a drug dealer. You know it's a possibility he may get shot at or his house may get ran up in. Okay. You already know what you signed up for when you started dating him. You know there are going to be multiple women in his life. You already know that. So you might be girl number 8 on a Wednesday. If that's what you want, more power to you. But if that's not what you want, you need to mash the gas on his bitch ass and find you a grown ass man. Like, for real, we got to get better with this. Stop calling these good men lames. Stop calling them corny. But you want to chase behind man, Tay-Tay and railing them. And again, won't even buy you $1 pack of pads for your pussy. Won't even get you a 50-cent soda. But will come get you at 2 a.m. to fuck. Gotta cut him off.
You better speak on this. I thank God. I was married young. I was married at 19. I was married while still in school at Florida A&M. So, I never really experienced a lot of, my girls, when I was teaching at Girls High, I remember a couple of my girls, because I did a dance team, and a couple of my girls were actually dating, dealers. And I had said I had never even, that wasn't even a fathom. That never crossed my mind growing up. So, men, the reason why I want to point that out is, let me tell you, the number one reason why a lot of females fall into that is because they have a lack of father figures in the home.
Right. That's the truth.
They get caught up in just letting, any man that can take care of them. My mom and dad, were married all of the years that I was living. My mother transitioned, when I was still a teenager. She passed away, and my father, he got married again. So it just goes to show that, if a man wants to be married and committed, there's no excuse. He lost his wife after 30 years, and he still was like, well, I'm going to get married again. So we have to really we have to stop reducing marriage to a piece of paper. Do you hear that a lot, Keisha, in your work? Do you hear that a lot?
Piece of paper, but that piece of paper means a lot. If your husband died today or tomorrow, guess what? It's benefits and resources for you as a married woman than you being a common law wife that's just been living with him for 10 years. As a matter of fact, it was a lady that went through a thing like this in New York. She lived with this man for 20 years. They were common law married. When he passed away, they put that woman out her house. And she's like, well, I've been here for 20 years. We're common law married. And New York looked at her like, ma'am, that don't mean nothing. Are you legally married? So it's more to it than just having a piece of paper. That you're protecting yourself. But I also want to say something to the men and women. While y'all out here dating, please start visiting these law libraries, especially if you're buying stocks, buying property, buying vehicles, buying businesses, whatever it is that you're doing. Sit down and ask them, how can I protect myself before I get married? So when you guys are getting married, these women are not taking y'all to the cleaners. Get that prenup in place. Men and women, get a prenup. You out here making 6 figures, you buying property, you doing everything.
Prenup is not just for millionaires and celebrities, y'all. No, I did not have one. I was married to a lawyer and a professor. We did not have a prenup, but I tell you what we did have. When we got divorced, we didn't do the whole child support court and all of that. We had a mediator. So we had someone on the equivalent of what Keisha is come in and just, it was a civil divorce. So, this person was able to say, hey, it was almost like a counseling session in a divorce. We didn't have, two lawyers manning up and trying to gouge out each one. you know, I tell you, our mediator was a wonderful man, and it was a volunteer. You know, it's a volunteer role, but my ex-husband paid for him so that he was able to talk to us about what were the bare necessities that we needed moving forward, instead of saying, okay, I'm coming after the house and all. And I tell you, a lot of my friends, they clown me to this day because of the fact that I didn't demand more. But the reason why I didn't is because 80% of why I divorced was my fault. And only thing I wanted was just help raising the children. That's it. I didn't do it to bleed anybody's pockets. I didn't do it to be vindictive. You know, I realized that it was accountability in that moment, and really because of the fact. And I tell people all the time too. Had I been working when we got divorced, I probably wouldn't have even asked for anything. But the fact of the matter was I wasn't working when we got divorced. So, and big shout out to my ex-husband. He's always going to be my Mr. X, and I always say Mr. X is in Malcolm X, not, X. But he was a brilliant guy, a good guy. You will never find me saying a bad thing about my ex-husband. Not just because he's the father of my children, but because he 10 years before we ever had children, he was a good man to me. He was a good man to me. I never paid a bill. He was a good man to me. He was brought up by two good parents, and I still have a relationship with his mother and with my ex-mother-in-law because he was a good person. He was a good person. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and we have to start doing that. Just because someone is your ex doesn't mean you have to hate them, because that toxic energy, we've got to figure out ways to, again, this is why, and I love what you were saying earlier, Keisha, about glowing up. This is why this is a glow up, not a level up. A glowing up is an internal, it's doing shadow work, and it comes from within. Leveling up is buying you something new.
And acknowledging fault.
Acknowledging fault is being accountable, being intentional, and living with purpose. So I'm gonna let you get back to it. I just wanted to put that piece in there. Stop hating your exes, guys. Just because they're exes doesn't mean that they're toxic and they're the devil.
Nope. Yeah, we got to get better with that, especially that's right, Diamond Princess. If there's no ring, I'm not playing wife, which you just said. So prenups are not just for millionaires or for Hollywood; they're for everybody. Especially if you're in a high income or you're going to reach it one day. It's nothing wrong with preparing in advance. Start talking to legal aid. Start talking to, do like 30-minute consultation. Start talking to lawyers. Say, hey, listen, if I get married, how much do I stand to lose here? So you got to get better with these law libraries. Y'all got to sit down and get up on game. So if you do get married and they get divorced, well, I already put that prenup in place. You can only get what this prenup states. And another thing with the kids, and I want to jump on you men real quick. Stop letting these women dictate to you when and where you can see your children. Get your ass in that courtroom and turn up and tell that judge you want full legal custody. Stop letting them dictate that to y'all. Telling y'all can't see y'all kids unless we together. You ain't got to be with her to be no good damn parent. You tell her, look, we going to court then. Stop being scared of these women. Go see y'all kids.
I can't say that's the truth. On the flip side of that, my ex-husband threatened twice to take, to have sole custody. And, I did not, of course, it wasn't about me wanting to get more money, but I challenged him just because of the fact that, we have a daughter and a son. And the reason why I challenged him, because I'm in total appreciation for him wanting to do that, but I challenged him just on the sheer fact of, I want my kids to know I'm fighting. You understand?
Right.
I want my kids to know I'm fighting. Not fighting him, but fighting for them. But 2 times he threatened. Both times he walked it back, which I appreciated. But I never disputed him just because of the fact that, I'm the mom and I need these kids because I need the money. I disputed. I fought because I want my kids to know I'm fighting for them.
Right.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I'm not fighting my ex-husband. I'm fighting for my kids.
That's right. You just gotta know who y'all dealing with out here, and just be careful who y'all have kids with. Y'all really, 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 really gotta be careful, because you got all these genetic disorders out here, and you have a lot of people that have generational curses on them too. So you really, really have to look at people's spirit. Like men, women, you gotta look at their spirit. You gotta look at their daily living. Like, look besides how cute they are, how big they dick is, how nice their car is, how fat their ass is, how their mouth work. Throw all that shit out the window. Do you have any goals?
I love how real you're coming with it, Keisha.
Throw that shit out the window.
That is really it. That is really it. I've heard the most profound reason.
Nothing if they ain't got no brains. Don't mean nothing if they ain't got no goals, no spirituality. It means nothing.
I have heard the most profound reasons, just ear hustling for why, certain people are after certain people. And I want to say this to men as well, because let me tell y'all, when I tell y'all, I'm just going to be so real right now. My DMs are dry. I don't have no calls coming in. When guys find out, Keisha, that you are not into having no casual sex, let me tell you, that interest falls way down. So I always tell my glowers, if you really want to find out what a man feels about you and how a man likes you, close legs, and you'll really see. Because let me tell you, when I would be at work, when I worked at 9 to 5, when I worked in an office setting, a lot of guys used to talk to me because they felt that I was kind of I was like an ear that they could just pour into, because they knew that I wasn't gonna cause no friction with them and their girls, because they could always throw up, hey, she even celibate, like, she ain't into me. So they used to talk to me, and I remember one time I was so when I tell you, just it really damaged my spirit about this person, because I really had a lot of respect for him. But his girl was having an operation, and so she couldn't, she couldn't perform. She couldn't have any sexual interactions. And mind you, they weren't married; they had just been living together for, I think, about 6 years.
Okay.
She said that she told him that, he told me that she told him that she wasn't going to be able to, have any sex. And he said, he told her, what good are you? What good are you? Now, mind you, she could have had
surgery. Right.
Come on. And I said, what did she say to that? And he said, what you mean? We got busy last night. What? This is what I'm talking about. So women, do not be fooled. Just because these men are having sex with you does not mean that they really care about you.
And just because they spend money on you don't mean he respects you either. That just because they spend money don't mean he respects you either.
Thank you. Speak on that, sis. Speak on this.
Because he could fly you from Philadelphia to Amsterdam today and not call your ass next week. So don't be taken by the fact that, he spent the money. That mean he liked me. That don't mean nothing, because every man has an ass budget, okay, of how much he want to spend to get that ass. They do.
That is a takeaway, y'all. So after Keisha and I wrap, I really, in the description, in the first comment on this page, on the playback, I'm going to have these bullets. And that is a word, if I had never heard one. Every man has a butt budget, an ass budget, for how much he wants to spend on ass. Speak on that.
That's the truth. And fellas, I'm going to tell you something. Before y'all shell out a bunch of money for dinner, take her for coffee first to make sure that she's worth it. Because you don't want to spend $200 and $300 and then 30 minutes into the date, you don't like her personality. You done spent them $200 and $300 and she done got her meal. Take her ass for coffee first before you take her for dinner. Say, hey, listen, but if she's any kind of woman, she should say to you, well, since this is the first date, I don't want you to spend too much. How about we just go for coffee first and then go for dinner later? Because I don't want to be stuck with you for 30 minutes and I don't like your personality. So don't do that. And ladies, please stop going on these dates for free meals. Please stop doing that, ladies, because that is so trashy. You can take your ass to the soup kitchen or the food cupboard if you want a free meal. Stop using these men for free meals. These men are out here some of them for the purpose of dating. Some of them are looking for just sex, but you need to find out exactly what he's looking for. Now, if he's looking for just sex and you looking for a relationship, okay, we know this is not gonna work. I'm going this way, you going that way. Now, if you are looking for sex and he looking for sex, by all means, y'all two grown adults, y'all gonna do what y'all want. That's fine, but ask questions. What exactly are you looking for? What you said, no simp zone. And don't be out here simping, fellas. That's not cute. A simp is not cute. We don't respect y'all. No simping. Please, no simping, fellas. No. Thank you, Diamond Princess. Us women need to stop settling for less. Men who don't have ambition is not going to have it all. Exactly. And ladies, while y'all out here dating, all the hobbies that you had while dating, whatever it was that gave you peace of mind, if you build baskets, whatever you do, continue them same hobbies during the relationship. Don't stop doing what you're doing because you're in a relationship. Because in the event that I'm not saying that in the event that the relationship doesn't work, you don't want to be running around here bitter, scarred, acting retarded and shit. So ladies, continue your hobbies, continue doing what you was doing. And you know, ladies, if he being disrespectful, jump on his head right then and there. Do not let them get comfortable disrespecting you. Same thing for you fellas. Y'all talk about women talk crazy to y'all because y'all let their ass talk crazy to y'all. I talk crazy to you too if you let me do it. You better get her ass in line like, hey, I don't go for that. Please don't talk to me like that. Don't be disrespectful. Stop letting these women disrespect y'all. Stop doing it. Ask questions and start getting to know these people's families. See who made him. See who raised him. Because when you marry somebody, you marry their whole family. And trust me, sometimes you love your mate, but you can't stand their family.
That's why I say never get shamed into not having standards. You know, standard of mind, it was when I was dating. Like I said, I'm no longer dating, but when I was dating, if a man told me he had been into pulling trains in his youth, no, honey.
I'm gonna run from you.
No, sir. No, sir.
Run from you.
That's not God behavior. And don't let men tell you that all men are into certain things. No, they're not. All men into porn. All men like this. All men are no, honey. No, they won't.
Don't let these dust mites tell y'all all men cheat. No, they don't. There are men who have dicks with standards. All men do not cheat, just like all women don't cheat. Do not listen to these dust mites, and I call them dust mites in these unhealthy relationships. And we're going to call out some people real quick. You know, we going to talk about some folks real quick. Now, we're going to call out Aunt Gertrude, who been married, divorced 3 goddamn times. The only time she get a phone call is when a dude want to hit it. Ain't nobody cuffing her. So we can't take advice from Aunt Gertrude. She fuckable, but she not wifeable. We're not going to listen to her no more. Can't listen to them. But yeah, get up on game in these law libraries. Start finding out what your rights are as far as your kids, what you can and can't do, and protect yourself. And if you want to know how to navigate the system, I'm a product of Department of Human Services. I went through foster care and all that stuff. I was a part of the foster care to prison pipeline. So what they look for is stability. Do you have your own place? Are you working? Do you have food in the house? Do something like parenting classes. Do something like anger management. Volunteer somewhere like Habitat for Humanity. Learn how to build houses. You know, fix your credit. Whatever you got to do to sustain your lifestyle and the lifestyle of your child. You got to know how to navigate the system. If you need help navigating custody and all that, I'm here. You can talk to me. I tell you what you need to do. But every state is different, so find out what the state laws are for that, so that way you protect it. Now, if you have another consultation with that attorney and say, "Hey, I'm in the process of getting married. In the event that things don't work out, how can I protect myself?" And another one, I'm gonna give you a free gem, guys. Put yourself on child support. Because some of these women is spiteful and vindictive, and they'll put y'all on child support. Put yourself on child support and tell them to take that money from your check. But again, every state is different. And ask them, can you put it in a trust fund for your child until she turns 18? But put some stipulations on there, like he or she has to graduate high school, go to trade school, whatever arrangement you got with them. But again, every state is different. Get up on game, sharpen your knowledge on law, real estate, whatever it is that you're doing, your stocks, your bank accounts, whatever y'all doing, you got to protect yourself legally. Same thing with women, protect yourselves legally. So we got to stop listening to Aunt Gertrude. We got to stop listening to Uncle Dusty and his 10 kids, and he ain't got custody of none of them. We can't listen to Man and Rel and Riri and them. And she on her 4th husband and been with him 15 years and still ain't got no goddamn ring. We not doing this no more. We not playing this game with men and women no more for 15 damn years and you still ain't got a goddamn ring. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. Why don't you have a ring at 15 years, sweetheart? Playing house, shacking up. We're not doing that no more. We're not stacking up. We're not listening to grandma. We're not listening to auntie. We're not listening to mama, and she don't even know who your daddy is. We can't listen to mama, and she don't know your daddy.
Thank you. And definitely, y'all, I've seen, I had some neighbors try to tell me some advice about, oh, you should go out with this person and that person. Don't be watching my house telling me about who I should be bringing in.
Right. Tell her to date.
Please don't.
Tell her to date.
Oh, and the neighbors used to tell me, oh, I was too pretty to be celibate. No, honey, I'm too pretty to not be a wife. Is that what you're telling me? I'm too pretty to be celibate.
That's what it is. I'm too pretty to run game mode. I'm too pretty to be used. We not building bums no more. No more builder bums. As a matter of fact, ladies, y'all gonna close that company called Builder Bum, and you're gonna sell your stocks. We want partners, not projects. Y'all better stop playing this Builder Bum shit. Y'all better stop this bullshit trying to sit up here and build a bum. What the hell was his mom and his daddy doing if you gotta re-raise him and make sure he got self-esteem? That's why the fuck it's called self-esteem. Esteem of your motherfucking self. That ain't your job to build his self-esteem and do his resume for him. They got workshops for that. He better take his ass to OIC or one of them and learn how to do a damn resume. No, we're not building bums no more. And you fellas, some of y'all be building bums too. Y'all be settling too. Listen, fellas, I'm going to give you a free jewel real quick. The reason why y'all not getting no respect and submission in these relationships is because your woman does not feel safe with you. If your woman does not feel safe with you financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, she's not going to respect you. And you're not going to get no submission. So your woman has to feel safe in them areas, and submission will come. Y'all got to stop talking about, I want submissive wives. Stop asking for submission, because a real grown man that knows how to lead ain't got to ask for submission. It's going to come naturally. He said the reason why men complain about child support, they don't know how to use the system, right, Diamond Princess? They got to learn how to navigate that system. As a matter of fact, start making friends with people in the courthouse and learn how to navigate that system. Volunteer in the courthouse. Learn how to navigate that system. You got to learn how to date safely, and you got to learn how to navigate the system. You got to know how to do that, because if you don't know how to do that and you get a woman that knows how to do that, that's your ass. So you got to get in these law libraries, start looking at these papers. What can I do? How can I protect myself? Things like that. Legal, exactly. Stop being a come up woman, Diamond Princess, a come up man. Thank you. What she just said. And ladies, please be quiet. Sometimes it pays just to shut up. Everything does not require a response or argument. Sometimes you got to suck in your pride and just say, yes, dear. Everything ain't worth arguing over. Stop being a snap mouth, ladies. It's not cute.
If I would have heard that, let me tell you, that would have saved me. I was married for 13 years, with my ex-husband for 15 years. You all, as Keisha was saying, okay, so even though I came from a 2-parent household, the thing of it was that my mother was very masculine. I wanted to not be masculine, but because that was all that I saw, that's what I gave. You understand? And so, I just remember just thinking, oh, I have to tell my husband what to do. I have to tell my husband what to do. Let me tell you now, in my life now, Keisha, what I told you, I'm looking for a fireman. Honey, he can put out fires. I ain't going to tell him to do nothing. I ain't gonna tell him to do nothing. So I'm just gonna let him put out the fires. You put out the fires, baby. I'm just here over here when you need me. I'm over here. I want to
say one more thing to these ladies. Ladies, stop letting people make you feel bad for glowing up and wanting to level up. Do not make them feel bad. When people say things like, well, why don't you just date a mechanic? If you don't want to date Nick the mechanic, don't date Nick the mechanic. If you want to go for the cute ass attorney on Fifth Avenue, then go for this cute ass attorney in the Fifth Avenue, but make sure you can match him. Like, don't let people feel bad because you want to level up, you want to glow up, you want to change. Do you, boo-boo? And sometimes you might lose some people along the way because everybody ain't meant to go on the journey with you. You might have to get rid of some people. That's okay. This is about you. This is about your glow up. This is about making you better, getting better with communication, getting better with relationships. If you socially awkward, go to an event, talk to 3 people at that event. And, kind of keep a monitor of how you was. Okay, well, when I talked to girl number 1, I was happy, I was excited. Get out this being socially awkward. Go to these events. You know what I'm saying? And men, stop. If you're married, stop leaving everything to your wife. Your wife should not have to get up 6 a.m. If you see she sleep, she go to school, she work, help her out around the house, because a relationship should not be slavery. It shouldn't be left to the woman to do everything. You live in that house just like she do. Help her out. She shouldn't have to tell you. You should be like, babe, you need some help with that? You want me to help you out? Little things mean a lot. Little simple stuff. If you see that it's dishes in the sink, wash them. If it's dust on the ceiling fan, get it off. Don't wait for me to do it. The baby crying, go get the baby. Don't wait for me to do it. It's 2 of us in this house. Relationships should not be slavery. You're supposed to be happy in a relationship.
Keisha, in this time of the because we're winding down the hour, girl, you dropped so many jewels. I knew that this would not go. This part of the request wouldn't go unfounded, or wouldn't go it wouldn't go unused. So we do have Diamond Princess. She wants to weigh in. She wants to ask some questions with you. So we're going to open up the panel. Okay, so I'm going to put myself back on mute, but I'm bringing her in. So this is Diamond Princess. She's my moderator. She's my best. She's my bestie. So and she also has a channel as well. I'm sure she's going to be asking you one of hers also. She's amazing. So let me open up and bring her onto the stream. One moment.
Okay. How you doing?
I am fine. How are you?
Good.
That's good. It's nice to meet you. Oh my God, I'm already a fan. I am. I made some mistakes in my life when I was younger, dating Dusties and and giving it up on the first date.
Yup.
And when I was when I was in my 20s as well, I also was with a married man. He told me that he was married from the beginning, but I did
Mhm.
not care because I said, if he loves me enough,
Yeah.
he will leave his wife. But
Mhm.
to be honest with you, he never left his wife,
They
and
never do.
we did not see each other that often
Mhm.
as I would have wanted to see him. But
Yeah.
as well, I had to break it off because this relationship, wasn't
That's
working
right.
for me.
Right.
It never worked in my favor in the beginning
Right. It never does.
because I was the side chick, and I had to realize that.
Mhm.
And this
Yep.
relationship wasn't really benefiting for me. And I
Mhm.
had to tell him that, I am a woman. I have,
That's
a
right.
standard that I have to meet. That's
Mhm.
it. And so I had to leave the relationship, but he didn't want, me to leave. And I have to realize that he wants, his cake and eat it too. But I said, I'm done with that.
Right.
We're not getting
Yeah.
no more slices.
That's right.
But the cake has gone. It's expired.
Mhm. Expired. That's right.
hmm
Gotta cut them
But
off.
gotta cut him off. But my sister has entered a relationship with this guy, and
Mhm.
he does not work. He plays video games.
Mm.
He does. He really basically does nothing but do like little jobs here and there, cleaning carpets, but it's not like something ongoing.
Right. Okay.
And when I asked him, hey, this job is hiring, and my brother also,
Right.
his job was hiring, and he didn't. He said he don't like working for other people, and I'm like, dude,
Right.
my sister right now, she's due next month in August,
Right.
and they're gonna have their first child together, and
Mm.
it's kind of annoying because me and my sister, we put in the most for getting diapers, a new stroller.
Mhm. Right. It costs.
It, it was so expensive. This is during the pandemic.
Yeah, of course.
We,
Okay.
we brought the baby clothes and everything. Like it was
Mhm.
me and my sister. And he was not doing it. All he was the driving. And
That's
I
it.
had to
Yeah.
tell my sister, what is your plans? What is your goals? Because my
Right.
sister's in school
Yeah.
right now. I
Mhm.
told my sister, if you want to have a better lifestyle, this ain't it. He's
That's
not it
not
because he don't have a job. He ain't bringing
right.
nothing in. You're the only one
Mhm.
bringing income into this,
Right.
and all he does is argue, fuss, and
Mm.
fight, and
Mhm.
he comes home drunk.
Oh.
And it's very annoying because you
Mm.
know I'm trying to make my sister think because I told her this man is not right for you.
Not at
He's
all.
paying back child support. He's paying
Mhm.
back child
Yeah.
support.
That's not good. Yeah.
He Not only that, he's still married to his ex-wife. He hasn't even divorced. They've been they've been separated for 10 years, but
Okay.
the divorce wasn't an issue. So
Yeah.
Let me
I
tell
put
you, you
his
can get
kids
a
to bed.
divorce for $170. Divorces are cheap. So anybody
Mhm.
telling you that they need money to get a divorce is a lie.
No,
So
they got no
in this
fault
day and age,
divorces.
Yeah,
people that are not divorced don't want to be divorced.
They
That's
don't
the
want
truth.
that divorce. Yeah. That's heavy.
yeah.
That's
Not
heavy.
only that, I heard a lot of stories about this guy, going outside his marriage, and this was way
Oh,
before he met my sister. He got other women pregnant. But
wow.
I told my sister that, I love you.
Right.
I'm always going to be there for you.
That's right.
But
She
you
got to get
talking about,
tired.
owning your
Yeah.
own, yeah, you talked about getting your own place.
Right.
And everything. He like this dude don't have no income coming in, and if you do move into your own place, he's not going to pinch in to put in nothing.
Nah, he's not.
And so like I know they have a baby, or their first child on the way. What is your advice for me to give to my sister? Because I'm kind of worried here because
I'm worried
she's
about
not
that
with the
too
right.
because he's a drinker. Like it's a lot of concerns there. Him being a drinker, I would sit down. I would keep talking to her, let her know her worth, and kind of find out why she wants to stay with him. Why does she need him? Like, cause like for me, when I stayed in them relationships, it was because my self-esteem wasn't there. So it may be something else. Like sit down, have a talk with her. Why do you feel as though you deserve a man like this? Because she has to feel it in herself that she's worth better and can do better, because you could tell her that all day and all night, but if she don't feel that here, your words is falling on deaf ears. So she got to make that move to say, you know what, enough is enough. I
Because he
can't
feels like,
you know what I'm saying? So
but here's the thing.
uh,
My sister, she feels like she feels like she has to have a man to, to listen. I'm like, Renee, this
so she's
dude, when
afraid
he's
of being
drunk, he
alone.
argues with you.
Right. She's
Yeah,
afraid
she's
of
afraid of being alone. And I said, you don't have to be afraid. Because look at me, I'm single. I don't have no
me
children.
too. See, mine are
It's okay to be alone.
thank you.
Yeah. You see, it's okay to be alone. It's okay.
It
You
is.
have the support that you need.
Yep.
Your support will always be
Talking
here
to
to
her.
help you.
Yeah. I would just keep talking
Yeah,
to
and
her,
you don't need
encouraging her, because she's got to get tired.
mm-hmm.
And then that self-esteem got to be in place to where she's comfortable enough to say, okay, I'm going to end this relationship here and stuff like that. But she has to put some form of protection in place too, because if he's a drinker, just in case he decides to get crazy or get upset, put some form of protection in place. Keep talking to her, keep encouraging her. But yeah, she's afraid of being alone and feels as though she can't do better. And that was one thing I struggled with too. And that's why I leaned towards toxic men, the dope dealers and stuff like that. And then a lot of the times I didn't want to have to deal with me. So I would hide from myself in these relationships because I didn't want to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took me a while to realize myself to get out of my situation and change my mindset because I can't change nobody but me.
That's right.
And
That's right.
and because I started doing all these changes when I was in Job Corps. So
That's okay.
while I was in Job Corps, yeah, but I started to I started to get to know myself more better and what my worth is, because I told myself I'm not going to settle for less, because as I look back for my dating history, these guys that I was dating did not take me seriously because they only wanted something out of it, and that was sex. That was it, because they said if I take this girl out on a date, I was smash.
Yep.
But it's not the case anymore, because as a woman in my 30s, the game is over. It's time to get serious.
It's time to get serious. And we
It's time
gotta
to get serious.
gotta get serious. But I think as you keep glowing up and she watches, then she'll be inspired to do the same thing. But yeah,
And what I also look at other dating coaches. I like you too. It's so nice to meet you. Oh my god. But it like I also listen to Deborah Cooper. I don't know if you heard of her on YouTube.
Deborah Cooper, that's my girl. I love Deborah Cooper.
Yeah, Deborah Cooper. She helped me along. Yeah, she helped me along the way with my self-esteem and my worth,
Yep.
and it's just like holding like she's like a second mom. Like you hold her hand, and she,
She
it's
is.
like being raised. Yeah, and oh my God, like this is why, I want my sister to watch her and her friend, because her friend recently broke up with somebody that was no good too. But
Yeah.
it like
Mhm.
this is something that I want my sister to watch.
Yeah, but yeah, shit. As you grow
Because I
up,
want her
she'll be
to.
more encouraged. She'll watch you and be more encouraged to do it. But as far as don't settle. Just secure that loneliness. If they're not what you want, keep moving, keep on dating. You know what I'm saying? But keep growing up, because I think as she see you do it, it's like you gotta trust the process. As she sees the process, and she like, wait a minute, it worked for my sister. Let me try this. She'll get tired. She will get tired of him.
Yeah.
She got to get tired. She's not there yet. And it was the same thing with me in the abusive relationships. Even though everybody wanted to save me, I had to get tired. And she'll get tired eventually. She'll get sick and tired.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, she hasn't gotten to the point where the sound of his voice annoys her. She'll get to that point where the sound of his voice just annoys her. Like, just don't breathe. But she gotta want that. You keep growing up, keep loving up, keep doing what you're doing. Take your time. Talk to him, interview.
Yeah, because he's. Yeah. Yeah, and I think he's just a way, he's just taking up space in this house, and we don't need, guys, like that. That's not going to put effort into, helping out.
You don't need no dead weight. And that's what that is, dead weight. Straight dead weight. Ain't nobody got time to be re-raising nobody grown son or a grown daughter. Ain't nobody got time for all that. We have kids out here that need to be raised. Ain't nobody got time for that. But yeah, just keep doing, keep setting the example for her and setting those standards for her. That's all you can do. Because you're gonna have to let that relationship dissipate because the more you fight her, the harder she's gonna fight to be with him. So you gotta let that relationship dissipate on its own. Because the more you fight her and say don't do that, the harder they're gonna fight to be together, and you may end up losing her. So you gotta let that relationship dissipate on its own. That's the best advice I could give you. Because I went through that with my stepdaughter. She was dating a guy I wasn't crazy about. Even though I didn't like this character, I still was respectful, still treated him with respect, and I let that relationship dissipate on its own. So when she got older, she said, Mom, I understand what you were saying now about him. Now I get it. That's okay. But don't let no man make you feel like an object. Make sure he treats you like you're an individual. Don't let them treat you like a sexual play. They say, for men, you're not no piece of meat. You're an individual. So that's
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, baby.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to be closing out the hour with a little fun questionnaire I have for Miss Keisha. Okay. So, Keisha.
Okay, so bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Diamond. And I will be including in the playback all of Keisha's contact information. So you guys make sure, look into those comments because I'm going to pin it. So when you pin it, it's at the top. All of her takeaways and her information will be on there. So you guys please follow up with Keisha. She is, as you guys can see, she's real. She's engaged. She's not, she's not putting on any filters.
But we're going to get it right. Thank you. Because I am a mother. I have a 21-year-old and 6-year, so it's going to come off motherly, but I give you that tough love at the end.
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. So we're gonna do our top 5 at 5. All right. So the first question, Miss Keisha, who has the best Philly cheesesteaks? Keep it real.
Well, I'm old school, so I'm gonna say Pats before the sun took over.
Okay. Okay. So with that being said, when's the last time you had a Philly cheesesteak? Okay, I'm just gonna piggy right back off of that.
The last time I had one, it was from Ishka Bills on South Street. But I grew up off of Pats when they was giving out real cheese, not Cheese Whiz.
Not Cheese Whiz. That was such a huge thing. I remember when that turnover happened.
like
People were talking about it.
I like provolone. I like mine with provolone.
I like provolone too. You know, in the South, they do it with mozzarella sauce.
They do it with mozzarella. They sure do.
They sure do. In the South, and I'm like, that's not okay. But then I got to keep my mouth shut because then people think, you know what I mean. You don't want it to be no issue, you know. And that's what I tell people too about. I tell people that all the time because they always say, "Oh, Florida, you know, they got a real slick mouth." And I say, Philly, they don't worry about slick mouth. Like they quick to throw hands, and so people take that the wrong way. But I'm like, for real, they ain't gonna talk. They gonna throw hands, you know. Period. You know,
that's it.
I've seen it plenty of days coming. I used to work at City Hall, and it would be men just like on they real adult professional self, like, dog, we can just handle this right now. Let me just set my little lunchbox down and let's square up. They about throwing hands for real.
That's it.
All right. So with that being said, now that I know that you're my age group, we really gonna get it in. Okay. Name 3 members from Major Figures. Sus, what?
Ooh, he went all the way back to Major Figures. I remember
went all the way back.
I forgot the 2 dudes' name. I know the girl name was Bianca. He went all the way.
You got it.
Ooh,
you got 2 more. You got 2 more. One of them had a whole album. So
yeah, that's us. I do remember that song.
That was it. My girls did a dance off of that at Girls High. Yeah, girl. I had them out there, girl.
That was it.
All right. So I'm gonna let you slide with Bianca. That was my girl. I love Bianca. Yes, Bianca. So you also had Ab Liva. You also had Gilly the Kid. Now come on. And then you had Dutch and Spade.
Yup.
Yes. Okay. So give me your favorite Roots song.
I like Push Up Your Lighters.
Give me the chorus to that, because I don't think I know it.
Let us spark the flame, push up your lighters, spark the flame. He was talking about that weed. I like Push Up Your Lighters. I like the Hypnotic and Proceed. Those are my hits. What he said? Okay. Wait, we got quiet. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. No, you know when we have these home studios going, you know when we blow up the studio all the way, I'm gonna have my own little system set up with its own Wi-Fi.
Right.
But that's a glow up. That's a plan for the future to glow up the studio. But I heard you. I definitely heard. I heard you on that with the tip because I got into the Roots. Actually, I didn't grow up on them per se. I got into them with they did the when Erykah Badu song I Got You. Yeah, when they switched over, but they used Jill Scott. I mean, it went from Jill Scott to Erykah Badu. So I was in the middle of all of that kind of controversy. You know, use campus real hard. And so it was like, I remember my ex-husband was really into the Roots. And so he sent me the first version that had Jill Scott on it. And I was like, we don't have that version. We have it with Erykah Badu. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, we don't have Jill Scott. We have Erykah Badu. And so a lot of people didn't know that backstory till years later that, yeah, Jill Scott was originally on If You Were Worried About Where I've Been,
who I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was on Erykah Badu.
Yeah, no, the original was Jill Scott.
I didn't hear that version. I gotta hear that version.
Yeah, that was a very they did, I think she had it. She mentioned it too on her versus battle, on their versus battle. She mentioned it. But the person who played it for me worked in the studio. That studio down that they had off of 8th. He worked down there. And he played that version for me, but that was years after. Like I said, my ex-husband, he went to UPenn, and so that's how I came roundabout all the way back to Philly.
Oh, okay.
And so I never, even though he told me about it, I hadn't heard it until I moved. The guy worked at the studio, played it for me. So definitely. All right. So last but not least, what age were you when you first heard about Mumia Abu-Jamal?
About 12 or 13.
You know, and I
younger than that.
The reason why I asked is because, sis, down here, well, I'm not down here because I'm in Atlanta now, but in Miami, there were literally, you know, I was so surprised with these kids because I always did. I always have been very much on the history of the movement. You understand? Right. And I just couldn't believe that they hadn't heard about, you know, Emmett Till. They hadn't heard about even stuff that happened in their own city. Right. And I said, wow, in Philly, it was like,
we heard all
about these lessons early.
The wars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so Monica just put us on she wrote the hook. She didn't write the song, Monica. She wrote the hook. Monica Stewart just put us on to this real quick, sis, that Jill Scott wrote that hook. She didn't write the song. She wrote the hook. I think she did come up with the concept, though. I do think she came up with the concept because she had another concept she came up with for music and the Roots. And she has credits in the she has publishing credits, but she wasn't on the song. So you know, we have to speak on that on another date, but a lot of our work gets stolen by us. You know, and I think that if we watch other people do it, why do we do it to each other? And I'm not saying that they stole it because they still gave her publishing rights, and you know, publishing credits are the best things you can get on a. Yeah, it is the best thing. But you wonder why didn't they use her for the song? And so, because even with I got you. It came down to an image thing because when that song was released, Jill Scott wasn't Jill Scott. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She wasn't hot like that. Right. And they went with someone that had a better image. I did want you to speak just a couple of minutes on that Mumia Abu-Jamal, on the bombing of the movement, you know, because a lot of our youth, we need to know that these have been issues. Like Black Lives Matter didn't just pop up in 2017.
Not at all.
Come on. So speak on that. Keisha, close us out with that a little bit, and I'm gonna put me back on mute.
The situation happened when they firebombed the houses on that block.
Protests, because these protests to me are being hijacked. They ain't no real protest. You know.
Absolutely. Well, what happened was it was a gentleman by the name of Darren Seals some years ago. He did services for Black Lives Matter. He actually revealed that the Black Lives Matter was a front for the LGBTQ community. So when you guys donate, it doesn't go into the Black community. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden got a nice little pretty penny off of that. So our move, it's been hijacked. And it's a lot of people like agents that was sent in to tear stuff up because you got people that are out there honestly protesting, but you got people out there tearing stuff up, blowing up cop cars, blowing up buildings and stuff like that when people are out there protesting. So it's been hijacked. Black Lives Matter has been hijacked. And this is nothing against the LGBTQ community, but you're trying to merge that on with civil rights. You know, this has been going on for years.
Absolutely. And here, M. Stewart, you know, this is my bestie. She's here in Atlanta. We went to FAM together. She said, no, ma'am, exactly. Black Lives Matter movement has always been a movement, but the organization is the Alphabet Club. Like, it was always that. You know,
Always.
we
You know,
hijack they stuff is what
they're always hijacking our stuff. Then
we
you
gonna
got
talk
George
about Billy
Soros
Porter,
and
but can we talk about Trayvon? You know, we asking them, but we really we have never fully. When I say we, I mean the black community, the black culture, the melanated movement has never established our own agenda, our own mission, and have stuck to that.
It's always been
Absolutely.
hijacked.
Always.
And then then it seemed like we always got to share the struggle. Now,
Let me put that up in this.
Blacks,
Let me put that up in here,
you want to make it inclusive. You know, okay, we're going to add the Indians to the civil rights movement. Okay, yes, they suffered. They suffered harshly. You know, you sat up there, ate dinner with them over hot rocks, and then you turn around and gave them smallpox. You know, so it's like our movements have been hijacked. It's not the same no more. You know, it's like when we try to have something or make it inclusive, here comes somebody wanting to hijack it. And we have to start putting our foots down as a community and say, no, you will not hijack this. You know, now we got to share the struggle. No, you're not going to hijack our movements. No, we're not doing that. We're not sharing the struggle with y'all. This is stuff that's been going on with us for years. You know, this goes way back into the 50s, 60s when our ancestors were getting bit by dogs and their hoses turned on them.
Come on, sis. Speak on that. We always got to share the struggle.
We always had
our pain is never just enough.
Never.
Why is that?
Never.
Our plight is never just enough.
Never.
You know? Anything you want to add? You got the mic. I'm putting myself on mute again. Anything that you want to add to close us out?
We got to stop sharing the struggle. We got to start putting our foot down as a community and stop letting people hijack our stuff. Like, say no. No, you're not doing it. We got to stop letting them come in and pimp our community, pimp our knowledge, and pimp our resources. We got to stop giving away free game. Games to be sold, not told. We got to stop giving away our resources. We got to stop thinking everybody cool and stop inviting everybody to the goddamn cookout. Everybody's not worthy to come to the cookout. Stop doing that. We can't give out no more invitations. We done. The cookout is closed. We got to stop letting people hijack our movements and hijack our struggles. Like, we got to be more, thank you. Stop giving away them resources. We got to stop that. Stop giving away our knowledge. Stop letting Becky come in and get our information and go back and take it to her community. Now we ain't got nothing. Got to stop selling out for that guap. Yup, what you said. Stop giving away them resources. They want resources, tell them Google that shit. Google works. You got a phone, Google that shit. Bye, Becky. Gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop letting them pimp our resources. Stop letting them pimp our knowledge. Nope. Can't get you nothing. We ain't got nothing for you, baby. Yup. Bye, Karen. Gotta stop letting everybody come in.
So thank you so much, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Every Wednesday at 5, the Glow is live. We had an amazing guest to kick off our live guest at 5. Y'all, I'm so pleased with the way everyone came out and supported. Too Raw for TV. I saw you in here, Sheba. Thank you. Coco, the Barbie. Thank you so much. M. Stewart, the best moderator in the game. Diamond Princess. Nigga Lover came up in here and shine. I really appreciate y'all and a few others. I'm sorry I didn't have time to scroll up to the top and see a few of you. George Fraser made a comeback in here, y'all. He said, Mom said knock y'all out. He was back in earlier. Y'all, I just want to...
Okay.
Y'all, thank y'all so much for doing everything y'all can to continue to help grow this glow. Y'all know what to do. Like this, hit it up, smash the likes button. Make sure you hit that bell so that you get the notices for when we are glowing live and when we have a new post up. And above all else, y'all, in day to day, in every day, y'all know what to do. Glow up.
That's right. Every day.